Business Insider just did an article and interviewed a couple of pretty large YouTube creators. And it seems as if YouTube might be headed in the direction of MySpace. At least that's my opinion. And it's just a matter of time. It may be a slow go, but the things that YouTube is doing, among other things, to me, I believe, is putting it on a path to utter disaster. And there are a lot of YouTubers that are larger influencers that believe that certainly there is a mass exodus, and there will continue to be a mass exodus of people leaving YouTube and just either moving to a different platform or ultimately giving up content creation altogether because of the frustration due to the changing algorithms, the changing policies of YouTube. And people are just like, I'm on this hamster wheel creating as much content as I possibly can over and over again, and I'm getting beat out by artificial intelligence, where people are just taking information, feeding it through an AI bot, creating content and putting it out there. Now I think genuine creators can get around that AI, because I think people want to consume content from authentic creators. But it's just too difficult because of all the policies and everything that YouTube has for people to really gain any sort of traction anymore. I'm certainly dealing with that myself, where I grew to 50,000 followers, and now all I do is lose them. I don't gain any followers whatsoever. I just simply lose them. And it's frustrating to the point where it's like, well, what am I doing this for? But really, in reality, the reason I'm doing it is because I would much rather create the content, get the news out there, and have other people support me in different ways than really worry about making money on the platform. Now, if I'm being suppressed and shadow banned, then not a lot of people are seeing it. That's a problem in and of itself, and that's why I try to encourage as many people to go to my Rumble channel. So you just go to rumble.com/Dennis Hendrickson and follow me there, because there I'm definitely not as shadow banned, and even on my Twitter account, I'm not anywhere near shadow banned there either. I just don't have the same amount of followers that I do on YouTube. But large and small creators are quitting YouTube. And the other thing that's people are frustrated with is, you've seen the story, or maybe some of you have seen the story with TikTok, where TikTok is being threatened by the U.S. government to either be acquired by an American company or they're going to ban it. And that's a whole different video that I'm going to be getting into for sure. But the U.S. government, even though they'll deny it, because they don't have control over TikTok and the information that can be put out there, that's the reason why they want to take it down. I mean, they have complete control over Meta, which is Facebook and Instagram. We know for sure that they have if they're doing it there, that they're doing it with YouTube. And all of this has been proven through the Twitter files, where all the information came out, where the government agencies were pressuring social media platforms to either shut down certain creators or certain people that didn't have the same narrative that these agencies wanted the narrative to be. And YouTube certainly is guilty of that. There's no question in my mind that it is. And the Twitter files prove that. Now, unless somebody comes in like Elon Musk and buys Alphabet, which is the parent company of Google and YouTube, then nothing's going to change. And here we are where, you know, certain things aren't going to go anywhere unless you're Mr. Beast and you're talking about silly little baby subjects, silly, you know, I don't know, finger painting or something like that. That's actually going to have any sort of traction. So it's, you know, it's a combination of so many of these things. And then the other thing too is, by the way, ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox, all of these networks, people are cutting the cable and they're not watching regular TV anymore. They're like, I don't want to listen to ABC News or MSNBC or ABC. These guys have all been lying to us forever. The whole reason people went to YouTube was to get away from those alphabet networks and to get their information and news from independent creators like a Glenn Greenwald or Jimmy Dore or Steven Crowder or somebody. And then what ends up happening? YouTube's like, oh, we know that you want the Fox News, so let's go ahead and force that through the algorithm so you get to see it in YouTube. And it's like, no, did you not just hear what we were doing? What we said? We don't want to listen to the alphabet networks. We want to listen to independent people give us the news, independent journalists. That's who we want to hear from. And now you're forcing this stuff down our throats. And that's where the forcing of, like Larry Fink from BlackRock likes to say, forcing behaviors, that's where you're going to kill yourself. That's where the end is going to come to your network, where you're going to try and force someone to watch an NBC, MSNBC, ABC, any of these CNNs. That's going to be your downfall, and that's what's happening with YouTube right now. And, you know, Rumble, I find myself using Rumble way more watching other people than I ever have before, and I spend really the vast majority of my time when it comes to getting news and things like that from Twitter. And so, you know, the bottom line there is, you know, if you're I am shocked that, oh, and then the other thing I forgot to bring up, and this kind of goes into what I was just about to say about investors, but this whole debacle with Google and their AI making everybody black. If you're an investor in Google and Alphabet, you need to have your head examined. Because I don't know if anyone really understands what they're invested in if they have their money invested in Alphabet. Because, and I'm not really sure how it is that Google is making money. I don't know how they're making money at all. And I guess there's enough advertisers that are pumping money in, but I'm not so sure that they're really getting much of a return on investment. And it certainly can't be making as much money as they should be or could be, because people like me are not going to advertise on Google and on YouTube, nor, if I wanted to, can I even spend my money, because if you're a right-wing conservative and you try to advertise, every single little thing when you try to run a YouTube ad gets shot down to where it's like, this isn't fit for advertising, you can't get, and it's like, it's this whole thing you have to go through that just absolutely just makes you want to just throw your hands in the air and say, I give up. And a lot of people, I'm sure, do. I'm one of those. The unfortunate part is that with Rumble, it's very difficult to advertise on Rumble. And trying to get a hold of somebody to where you can advertise, it's really impossible to do. So the only ones that are available to where you can actually easily set up an advertising account and put those things together is YouTube. But it's a whole different thing actually trying to get an ad approved to actually run. Twitter is making it way easier now, although they have their difficulties, and the support's just not there. These platforms are just so big that they can't handle the I guess they just can't handle the amount of people requesting help or whatever it is. But so anyway, that's my long-winded interpretation of what's happening with YouTube based on this Business Insider article. And I think it's going to take time. It's going to be a slow boil, but eventually YouTube, that's pretty much going to be the end, I think, because there are going to be too many other platforms out there that are, and it just simply based on the free speech. I mean, Twitter right now is, I think, number one when it comes to, hey, if you have truth that you want to put out there for everybody to see, it's affecting a lot of people right now, and a lot of people are being woken up to what's going on in the world, including this particular topic that I'm talking about now, where we know government agencies are trying to circumvent the First Amendment by pressuring social media companies to silence free speech. And when that stuff starts coming out, that's when companies like YouTube, who are just going to continue to toe the line, eventually it's going to be the end for them. If it's your first time here, be sure to subscribe. Also, if you learned something, please click the like button. And we'll see you all in the next video. Thanks for watching.